Friday night had come, the Holy Shabbos had appeared, and all the men were going to pray. And in the middle of prayers on Friday night, walked in a boy around the age like a teenager. And he wasn't dressed properly. He wasn't wearing the typical clothing that you would see in a synagogue. He was wearing like jeans and a t-shirt instead of like a nice button-down shirt or something. And everyone in the synagogue, the rabbi and everyone's thinking to themselves, who is this guy? But they don't want to interrupt their prayers. So they continue with the prayers, the Holy Friday night prayers. And as you know, Lecha Dodi is welcoming the Sabbath bride. It's an extremely important prayer that we say on Friday night. That's extremely beautiful. Lecha Dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela. So they're singing these beautiful words, and as they're singing the words, they notice that this boy, this young teenager, they notice that he starts to cry. And now everyone's even more curious about this guy. Here this teenager comes in, and he's wearing like different clothes, like he's not like properly dressed. And now he's crying during Lecha Dodi. Like Lecha Dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nikabila. And as the song continues, he's crying like so much. Wow, it's amazing. Like they're like wow, but to themselves, like they don't want to say something to him. So they finish the service finally, and when the service concludes, the rabbi walks up to this young man and he introduces himself, and he says Good Shabbos, and you can tell that the young man he's nervous and doesn't really know what to say. So he said to the young man, would you like a place to eat for Friday night dinner, for the special meal? And the young boy says, that's so kind of you. I love to go to your house to eat. So the young man and the rabbi, they walk to the rabbi's house, and the rabbi he and his wife, he and the Rebbitzin, they love to have lots of guests. And so not only there's this boy, but there's also lots of other guests that are going to be at this meal. So it comes time for the meal, and the wife has prepared a beautiful, beautiful meal with delicious food. And it's very common among these meals on Friday night and Saturday that songs, niggins, are sung. Beautiful Jewish songs. So the rabbi, seeing that he has a new guest for the first time, this young man, says, is there any song in particular that you'd like for us to sing at this table? And the young boy, he doesn't really know much, but he says, the song that you were singing at synagogue, can you sing that song again? That it was so beautiful. So all the men at the table, they start to sing again. Lecha Dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nikabela. And while they're singing it, the boy, he doesn't even really know how to say the words, but it touches his heart. Like he just starts to cry, like it's amazing. And once again, the rabbi and the people who are at the table, the other guests, they're wondering, what is it about this song? Even the boy is wondering to himself, why does this song touch my soul so much? So the meal continues, and they sing some other songs, and once again, the rabbi leans back to the boy, and he says, you've heard a couple songs now, what song would you like for us to sing now? And once again, the boy says, will you please sing that song again? There's something about that song that's resonating with me. I can't explain it. I've never heard it until tonight. It's the first time I ever heard it was when I walked into the synagogue. And that song, it's changing it. There's something that it's doing to my soul. So once again, all the men at the table sing, Lecha Dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nikabela. And again, the boy is crying. Finally, it comes time for dessert. You can guess. Once again, the rabbi asks the boy what song to sing, and they sing the song once again. And the boy cries once again. So by now, the rabbi and everyone else at this table, the Rebbitzin and every guest, They're extremely curious as to who this boy really is, and why is this song that he's never heard before in his entire life, why is that song making him cry? Like, what is going on? Why does he love this song so much? So finally, after the meal is over, they approach the boy. The rabbi approaches the boy, and everyone else is watching. And he says, "Young man, where do you come from?" And the boy starts to tear up. He says, "The truth is, I'm from Ramallah. And in Ramallah, I was taught to hate Jews. I was taught to kill Jews. I was taught that Jews are horrible. That's the way that I was raised. I lived there with my mother, and my mother and I were very close. But that's how my father. That's how he raised me. But one day, recently, my mother, she pulled me aside, and she said, 'Honey, I need to tell you something very quick.' And it was very unexpected to me. And I went over to the side with her, and she talked to me in private. She said, 'My dear son, I have a secret to tell you. The truth is, we're not Muslim. The truth is that you and I are Jewish. We were taken here by force, against our will. I was taken here by your father, but the truth is that you're Jewish. And I want you to leave this place. Right now is a good opportunity. I can't escape. It's too late for me. But for you, you can go and you can escape and you can live a Jewish life. I want you to go to the first town that you see that has a synagogue, a shul, and I want you to go in on Friday night, and I want you to sit there and listen to the holy prayers.' And I was looking at my mother as she was telling this to me, and I was thinking to myself, I've been raised my entire life to hate Jews, and now you're telling me I'm Jewish? I couldn't believe that my mother was saying that this could be true. So my mother is a very smart woman, and she could tell that something was bothering me. She said, 'Here, I have a picture. It's of your grandfather, and it's of his grave, and here's my proof to you. Look at this picture, that he's a Jew.' And I took the picture, and I realized that she was right. And I said my farewell to my mother, and I went on my way, and here I am. So by now, everyone at the table they're choking up with tears. And the rabbi is finally able to talk, and he says, 'My young man, by any chance, do you have this picture with you?' The boy says, 'Yes, I do.' So he takes it out of his pocket, the picture, and he shows it to everyone. And everyone goes, they can't believe what they're seeing. So what's the picture of? It's the grave of Rav Shlomo Akavitz. And who is Rav Shlomo Akavitz? Who's this holy rabbi? The man who wrote Lecha Dodi, that song that's touching his soul. So his grandfather was the man who wrote this holy song that Jews all around the world sing every Friday night. And so without even knowing that, it touched his soul because it was his own grandfather wrote the song. And that's the end of the story. See, here we have this boy who was raised and taught to hate Jews. He never even knew he was Jewish. Learns that he's Jewish. And when he learns that he's Jewish, sees that his grandfather was the one who wrote the song that affects millions of Jews throughout the world and other people as well. And when he first came to the synagogue, he had no idea that his grandfather had written that song. But for some reason, that song, it gave his soul a spark. Oftentimes, there's messages that come to us in life, and sometimes they're like in a code. And we have to decode the message. We have to figure out, why is this happening to me? But everyone, as hard as it is, and as hard as it was for this boy to leave his mother, he listened to his mother. He honored his mother, and he did the right thing, and he came back to Yiddishkeit, and he lived the Jewish life. And his grandfather, who wrote Lecha Dodi, the beautiful song that Jews around the world sing every Friday night, the rest of his life, he he sang the song with the purity, and he even felt it before he even knew that his own grandfather had written it. When we all learn from this to let our hearts be open to prayer and to listen when we get advice, and to truly serve God with joy, and to not be afraid to cry, and just love and trust, and beautiful things will happen.